With our business, we were able to delegate 82% of the work, to run a business with 1 hour per day, to run the same business. This video is the step 2, is a part of a series that we published on our YouTube channel in a playlist. And so I suggest you to go watch all the previous videos of the playlist. I'm recording this video because solopreneurs and small business owners haven't solved delegation in their company. And this is costing them 6-7 figures of profit or revenue or long-term growth. In this video series, I want to show you how you can easily delegate from zero your company in 5 easy steps in 5 days. My company, Success Mappers, helps solopreneurs, small business owners, and the beginners in delegation to start delegate profitably and therefore be able to have free time to manage better their company, grow faster, make more profit, make more revenue, and do all the beautiful things that you see around YouTube that you need to do, but you never have time to do. We tested multiple approaches to delegate, to implement delegation in companies. And we applied the same rules that you will see in this video in multiple companies, in multiple markets, in multiple roles. So now we defined the easiest, fastest, and most profitable way for solopreneurs, small business owners, and beginners in delegation to learn to delegate easily and fast. And also we have seen the end results, so we know the power of this framework. These delegation steps are directly taken from a 5 days playlist, but these easy 5 steps to delegate quickly are taken directly from our full delegation framework that you can see below in the description. So in this video, we will talk about the delegation step number 2. It's about estimating the task values that could be like topic, categorization, value per hour, yearly time required to do the task, or other type of categorization that we will see later. And we are doing this step because in order to delegate, we need to categorize this task. So to be able then to group them accordingly to how we want to delegate and accordingly to who we want to hire. Because to hire correctly, we need to define exactly the job that we are hiring them for. So what we will do now is to define the categorization that we want to have and also input some information about this categorization so that we later can decide how to group everything. In this section, we will see how to analyze the task and define the parameters for the categorization. We give parameters to turn the chaos of the task list that we created in the previous video. And in this way, so that we will be able to cluster them accordingly. If you have not seen the previous video, please go check. It's part of this playlist. You can see it on our YouTube channel. This video is part of a 5 days playlist about how to quickly delegate tasks, even if you're a beginner, in 5 days. While you will become more expert, there will be less micromanagement to do this task. Sometimes you can do it very, very quickly without filling any spreadsheet. Or sometimes you can use the spreadsheet but fill less information, less parameters, and do this work very quickly. Sometimes you can also delegate by define the roles. Sometimes there are some industry roles that you can hire easily. So you simply hire that kind of person without thinking about it. For example, you can buy a Facebook specialist or a YouTube ads specialist without the need of defining a spreadsheet with the tasks that I will show you later. But sometimes there are some tasks that you can optimize in this way. And I think this is the best way for beginners because in this way you can really understand why there are specific roles in the industry, how to delegate very efficiently. It's very, very useful exercise. Also in the link below, you find the spreadsheet of the empty sheet with an example about making a lasagna. You can download you can open the link. You can make a copy and use for all your future delegation. There is no need to input any email and nothing. Just click the link and use it. There is an example of the making a lasagna delegation in that spreadsheet. That is a fun way to explain you this process. And in that spreadsheet, we ordered the columns by most used categorization. But of course, you can order the columns how you prefer based on your preferences or what you exactly need in your exact situation. In this video, we will see 5 steps. So we try to summarize everything in 5 simple steps. The first step is defining main parameters. The second step is divide in macro topics or different sheets or sheet pages each task list. Then the third step is using colors. The first step is starting to filter, to use the filter function in a Google Sheet to input more information if needed. And the final step is, after doing some clustering, fill the categorization holes. I will show you later what does it mean. Step 1, define the main parameters. There is not an exact order to define the parameters, but we suggest to do it very quickly to feel what comes to your mind, what you know already very easily, and start from there. And focus on the important thing. There is no need to fill all the parameters. You just fill what you need. You try to color, to do the next steps, and also to cluster and group the activities. And after you try to cluster, if there is any more information that you need to fill, you go back and you add the parameters or categorization metrics. In the spreadsheet below, we also try to constantly update the order of columns based on our experience and our students and clients' experience. And you can do the same. You can order based on what you find relevant to you. And I want to stress this enough. Don't use all the columns necessarily. Try to use as little as you can. If you want, you can use all of them for exercise. But if you do it all the time, it's not efficient. Step 2, divide in macro topics. By the way, later I will show you at the end a practical example of what I'm talking about. This is an introduction, and later I will show you the example. The step 2 is dividing in macro topics in different sheets and sheet pages. So for example, if you do a big process like managing a marketing agency, you make the list of all the tasks that you want to delegate, but of course there will be some departments. So you will have like the marketing departments, the sales departments, the operations departments. So you will need to create different spreadsheets. So you simply divide the activities in multiple spreadsheets. This is the easiest way to order the tasks for delegation. It makes it much simpler. A different way is to categorize by macro topics. I will show you later an example, but for example, making a lasagna, there is a lot of tasks, like 30, 40 steps, but you can divide these steps in 3, 4 categorization, like doing the grocery, cooking, eating, right? This makes it much simpler. The step 2 is color categorization. This is very useful for people that delegate to others and want to explain to other people delegation, and also for themselves. Some people are very graphical, like for example me, I'm very graphical, but in general I suggest everyone to use colors, because colors make for your brain easier to group activities. It's very useful way to do it. You must do it, honestly. It's very efficient and it's the simplest way to categorize. You color by categories. So you try to divide by categories. You group roles, you group different pay range, and you color them so that it's more simple to see it. Also, a little interesting thing that we use is color shading. So for example, we can do a macro category in a specific color, like purple, and we do the steps in that category with the different purple shades. And we take the other categories, we do green. The other category, we do blue. And each category use the same shades. In this way, it's even more simple to categorize and subcategorize activities. I will show you later in the video. Step 4 is like this is facilitating the categorization. This is a step of the next part of the playlist, but we do it now because when you start to filter and order by color, order by order of the steps or whatever, you see holes in the parameters that you need to fill. So sometimes if you're not sure if you have all the information, you try to group, you try to filter, you try to do the day 3 of this playlist. And after doing the day 3, you will see what is missing. In this way, you can quickly fill those informations and go to the next step. Step 5, this is after doing some clustering, we fill the categorization holes. And this is what I told you before. You can use filtering and ordering to see these holes, or simply you try to group things by color or by concepts, by topic. If you see there is any problem grouping them, clustering these activities, you try to add information, add parameters, add estimation. I will show you later. And this is a way that we see this process. It's a loop. You fill information, you see what's missing, what is good, what you need to add, what you need to remove, and you repeat the process. You repeat till everything is optimized. Do few important things and don't focus too much on details, because details make the process inefficient. You need to input as little estimation as possible to group and cluster the activities. In this way, the process is very fast. And you need to overdo if you want to practice. So I suggest sometimes to overdo to see the full spectrum of the task, the different estimation of each task. You can do it, I suggest you, but in future, when you are good with this process, try to do as little as possible to get as much return as possible. This is especially necessary if you do things at speed. You can get results doing everything from the start, like all the estimation from the start, but it's inefficient and a waste of energy. But for practice, is good. Okay, this, for example, step one is an example of step one. We took all the list of the tasks that we have shown you in the previous video of day one. Go there if you don't understand what it is. We did categorize everything by 4 categories. Planning before cooking the lasagna, doing the grocery, cooking, and eating. These are some macro categories that were very simple and easy to find. Sometimes when the task touch, it's hard to define if an activity is exactly in a category or not. Try to be precise there, but if you're not precise, you can add a categorization column with more parameters estimation to better clarify that thing and that topic. This is step 2. I seen there was space for another categorization, so we added a column called subcategory 1. We divided each of the categorizations in different parts, as you can see. Here is step 3, color categories. As you see, in this way is very, very much simple to understand. You really quickly understand what is going on. Coloring is very useful when you have beginners and you want people to quickly understand a spreadsheet with a glaze. So you must do it if you want to be efficient, especially with people that maybe are a bit dyslexic, or maybe they are not specialized in making a lasagna. And as you can see, the macro category have one specific color, like purple, and the subcategory have shades of purple. In Google Sheet, you can do it is very easy. You can select the cell and color each of them. Maybe in the future I will make a video specific to how to use a spreadsheet, but this is the same as an Excel spreadsheet. Step 4 was filtering. So in this case was not necessary. I would add a filter in this case. I would add filtered in the category column or subcategory using the filter function in Google Sheet or in Excel, and order by color, order by estimation of the value of the activity, if there is any number estimation of it, or if there was order of the steps like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would have ordered in that way. Here was not necessary, but you can do it. If you are not sure how to categorize, you can order them, and this makes it more simple. And then there is a step 5. Basically what I seen is that it was hard to group the tasks. There were not enough parameters. So I added the 4 parameters. The first column is a role. So I try to define what kind of person can do this job, the minimum specialization required to do the job. The first steps were the most complex one, the director art director need to do them to decide to make a lasagna. But the next step were easily been done from a remote assistant. Then there was the need of a in-location assistant to do the grocery and cooking. And then the need of a chef to cook the lasagna. As you can see, we define more about the task. In this way, we can really understand better how we could divide the task to delegate. Then we defined the cost to delegate in dollars. As you can see, there is a cost in delegate like 0, 8, 5, 8, 12, 15. The higher is for the chef, because it's the most important part of making a lasagna. And then in-location assistant, because it needs a car to do the grocery. The lower cost was for the director, because you just need to decide. He decide in 10 seconds. So it's basically zero cost. But the remote assistant, it can just go on Google. You can delegate it to someone remote in a low wage country, and you will have a good pay for this country, and so do the job for lower cost with a honest pay, right? This is a categorization of the work cost. And then I did a categorization. I don't know if you can see it behind the camera, but the categorization is of two types. Near or remote. Remote are the roles that I can delegate on distance, so in lower wage countries. Near or in location is the same. It means that I need someone in the location. Of course, remote is cheaper. In location is more expensive because I need someone to cook in the near the client, right? Here is a simple explanation why this categorization was necessary, because I needed to define roles, define the pay, and define it was a problem with the location of the car, any requirement. After doing this spreadsheet is pretty much ready to group in the next video. If we need more information, we can go back and add a column or two columns if needed. If it's not needed, we just simply use this spreadsheet and delegate this spreadsheet. So the steps are these 5 I've shown you. Define the main parameter. Define the main parameter. Divide by topic. Use colors to simplify the spreadsheet. Start filtering. And after doing some clustering, fill the categorization, adding columns, parameters, metrics, estimation. In the next video of this playlist, go check the previous video if you have not seen the previous video. This is a 5-day playlist. In the next video, we will see how to group these activities so that we can delegate them as cheaply and easily as possible. We will show you in the next video how to cluster, how to color in a way that is good for clustering. So is the coloring, but specific to delegation. And then we decide what main groups to use in our specific situation. Because of course, if we are a small business, we need to group in some way. If we are a solopreneur, we need to group in some other way. If we are a big company, we need to delegate in different way. If we have already some workers, for example, we need to delegate in different ways. But anyway, I will show you in the next video. To go more in depth with this topic that is very, very important, please watch the other videos of the full 5 days playlist that is teaching you quickly how to delegate your company away in the easiest and most profitable way. Starting from zero, if you're a total beginner, till implementing delegation and quickly delegate. To go more in depth, check the link in the description where we show you the full framework, the full delegation framework, and the exclusive trainings for delegate quickly your company. And if you're a solopreneur, small business owner, and beginner in delegation, and you want to solve this problem quickly in your company with our help, please go below and book a call with us so that we can discuss and see if we can implement profitably in your company our full delegation framework so that your investment can make 10 times returns. And if you're not ready to book a call, no problem. Check the full playlist in the description. Check the next video in this playlist in our YouTube channel. And never forget that if you don't have time to watch this playlist, delegation is exactly what you need right now. So stop being too busy and see you in the next video.